What's up, guys? Today I want to talk with you about what it's like to have a dream, goal, purpose, vision for your life, some of the pros and the cons about it. I will start off with telling you all about my dream slash vision for my life because I do believe that it gives some of the necessary context. But if you do not want to listen to me babbling on about my dream, you can just skip to the part where I start talking about what it's like to have such a clear goal in life more generally. And I would just talk about the pros and the cons that come with having such a clear vision for your life. Yeah, I hope you'll enjoy. My current iteration of my dream is that I want a big piece of land here in the Netherlands, and I want to build multiple houses, like cabins on them, where I want to live in one of them, obviously, and I want to build more because I would love it if a few of my friends or family members would live with me on that land, and I wouldn't need to see them every day because I do want to live on my own. But just having that community of people you trust and people you can just socialize with still surrounding you, that to me at this moment feels amazing, and it is something that I would really like, because I've noticed that in the versions of my dream where I don't have any other people surrounding me, it feels quite daunting and lonely. So that's why at some point, I think about a year and a half ago, I made the change, like I don't want to live there alone. I want to have friends and family members surrounding me. And it is also a nice addition that we have a huge housing crisis here in the Netherlands, so if I can solve that for some of my friends and family and offer them affordable housing, that would be amazing. But we have the land, and on the land I want the houses, and I want kind of like a community shed building type of thing where like everyone who wants company that day can eat together. And at some point, if we're all grown up and have kids, then the kids can play there and stuff. I also want a big shed where I can pursue all of my creative passions and hobbies and earning ways and stuff. I would like to be able to make epoxy tables, for example. I still want to be making my candles. I want to be able to do woodworking and all of that. I would want a big shed to be able to do all of that. And then we have one of the most important parts of my dream, and that is I want to be a part-time Arabian horse breeder. I have wanted this since I was about 9 or 10 years old, I think, and it is something I would still really like to do. And I see quite a few Arabian horses running around the property there in like the meadows, and it would be more like a pet of paradise concept, but I don't think anyone who is not in the horse world knows what it is, so let's just keep it at open fields and have them live as naturally as possible while still being in a obviously domesticated situation. And I would just like to have time to handle the horses every day and like train the little ones and just cuddle with the parents. And obviously there are less nice parts that come with that dream, like mucking out the pet of paradise and stuff like that, but secretly I kind of like doing that as well. But yeah, that's basically my dream, and it has been since forever. I think I have wanted to live on my very own farm since I was about 7 years old, and over time that changed to like wanting to breed Arabian horses, and then wanting to have family and friends live nearby, and wanting to have enough land where you can just explore on your own land, and where your horses have all the space in the world to just be horses, while also still having the facilities to train them to be horses that other people will want to buy. And yeah, I've had, like I said, had many iterations of this dream, but like the global idea of it has remained the same, and that's what I want. And I know it is quite unlikely that I'll achieve it, because land here in the Netherlands is extremely expensive, and owning horses is extremely expensive, before you can afford all of this, I would probably need to be a multi-millionaire, and not a lot of those walking around, but I do want to be one of them. So I know it's quite a unrealistic and ambitious goal and dream, but yeah, that has never deterred me before in the past like 12 to 15 years, and I still do believe with my whole heart that I can make it into a reality, but I also know that I will have to work very, very hard for it. And that is something I've become a little bit more realistic in the past few years, where I noticed that the work effort that I was putting in up until that moment wasn't enough to try and make this dream into a reality. So I have increased my work effort, and I will continue to do so because there is still room for improvement. But yeah, that's the dream. And now, with having bought my very first own horse, that did really feel like a stepping stone towards one day achieving this dream, because even though he is a gelding, he is an Arabian horse, he is beautiful, and he is exactly the type of horse that I've always wanted. And he gives me a lot of opportunity to gain experience with training horses, even though I'll probably, well, not even probably, even though I will do a lot of things wrong, I will be able to learn a lot from him. And yeah, just having him also kind of opens you up to the reality of owning a horse. For example, I never expected that I would be as anxious as I am about his health and well-being and whether he's happy and all of that. Of course, I always knew that that was really important to me, and I wanted to do everything in my power to make him as happy and healthy as possible. But the moment I receive a message like, oh, something happened and he has a small wound, it's fine, it's already been checked and it's okay, but if you want to take a look. Every time I receive a message of that type, I get massively anxious, and my heart rate increases significantly until I go to him, see him, check him, and then see that it is indeed a very, very small wound that will not impact his life whatsoever. But yeah, I didn't expect that level of anxiety to come around the corner, basically, and I do think that that is something that, as the longer you own horses, the more it will decrease a little bit. It definitely has its pros and its cons, and a lot of times I hear from people like, you're so lucky because you already know what you want to do in life, and you just need to, the only thing you still need to do is make it a reality. And on the one hand, I do agree, it is amazing to have a goal in your life and to know what you want to work towards. But at the same time, it is also quite daunting sometimes, because it feels like nothing that you're currently doing is kind of like good enough, because it doesn't directly bring you closer towards that dream or that goal. And like, having a clear dream and goal in your life is amazing, because a lot of people in life I found are struggling to find out what they really want to do in life. And that is very important to know, and it is quite a struggle to find out what you really, really want. But when you do finally figure that out, it doesn't automatically solve as many of the things you think it's going to solve, because I've known my goal and my dream for years now, and I love knowing it because, like I said, it gives me something to work towards, and it makes me feel less aimless, I guess. But at the same time, it brings a pressure with it. There's a pressure that comes with it, because from the moment that, at least for me, this is what happened, from the moment that you find out what you really want to do and what your dream is, everything in life that you do that doesn't directly tie in with that goal feels kind of pointless. And you don't want it to feel that way, because spending time with your family, going through school in my case, it's still wonderful, and it's still necessary sometimes. It is going to help you towards that dream, but in the moment it just doesn't feel as useful. And the kind of internal battles you can have with yourself surrounding that topic are quite intense, and they're not always as fun. And sometimes I wish I was more like a few of my friends who don't have that super clear goal, but also seem to be able to live in the moment a little bit more and be a little bit more content doing things that aren't necessarily deemed productive. And yeah, I don't really feel that, and that is just sometimes that is unfortunate, because it does, I think, sometimes keep me from experiencing everything in life that there is to experience, and not like in a way where you have to do more stuff to experience that, but just to get more out of the experiences that you're already having. At the same time, I really don't want to put anyone off from like finding their dream. I don't think I even could, luckily, because it does also like keep me up at night in a good way, because I am so excited about doing things that will bring me closer towards my dream, and thinking about ways that I can like change or perfect that dream to make it even better. That honestly gives me so much energy, and it feels so amazing, even though it sometimes leads to a little bit less sleep than I would like. Just being able to think about that and to have the whole mental picture basically ready it's amazing, and it feels amazing. And I do think I'm very lucky that at this age I already have such a clear picture of what I want. At the same time, I also realize that I shouldn't really like tie myself up in this one dream, because over the past 10-12 years that dream has had many iterations, and it's always been for a large part the same, but you do need to leave room to make changes and to make it fit what you want at that moment. And I think my dream will change a little bit every day until the moment that I finally will be able to make it a reality, and even after that it will probably change and change and change and change again. I am often reminding myself to not get too tied up in needing it to be in a certain way, because you never know what life's going to throw at you, and that can be both negative, where something happens that leads to it being necessary to change your dream, or maybe something positive like a breakthrough that you did not anticipate and did not expect happening, to changing your dream in a way that you couldn't have even imagined beforehand. And you do need to stay open to those types of changes. So all in all, having a clear vision for your life is amazing, and it gives a lot to you, but there are also definitely some cons that shouldn't be discounted, I believe. I do think the pros still very much outweigh the cons, but the cons are something to be wary about. With all of that being said, have a lovely rest of your day, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.